Hey, Jason, thanks again for being on my podcast. I've already heard the intro and everything, but for my listeners that haven't really gotten to know you as well, I did mention that, I've worked with you for probably about 2.5 years. Tell us a little bit about Dad Bod Health and kind of where you came from and how you got to, helping men all around the world.
Yeah, man. So where I came from was, I guess I'll take it back and just start with the ICU. I don't want to go back all the way to my troubled past. We won't go down that road. I've talked about that a lot. I'll start kind of what inspired where we're at now. And so as a company, we're still evolving. And I think that's the holds true with most businesses, right? You don't when I first started this thing, looking back, it is a complete 180 of where we were at before. And so I'm excited about our future, but where I came from is the ICU, and I saw a lot of people die.
Mhm.
And that was that stuck with me and resonated me with, which is crazy, is because I went through my health journey after that, after my mom passed away. So I'll get into that in a second. But I worked in the ICU for 6 years, and 6 years in the ICU is it takes a toll on you. I was young at the time. I was 23 when I started in the ICU. So still very immature at that point in my life. I had no business taking care of and saving people's lives, but that's what I was doing at that time. And so it really resonated with me for a long time, and it stuck with me. But while I was working in the ICU, my mom passed away. She was 49. I was 25 at the time. And I started to go through a very dark time in my life, man. My mom was my best friend at the time, and not at the time, she was my best friend, and we had a great relationship. And the reality is everybody goes through that at some point, right?
Mhm.
And it hurt. And so I finally, after probably 4 or 5 years of just staying stuck, finally decided to take my health seriously. And I started to realize how good and how well our bodies are designed to feel. And when I started to get that feeling, I started to be inspired to help others feel that way, and approach life in a sustainable way, right? Nobody wants to counting calories. Nobody wants counting macros. Nobody wants to be overwhelmed by following fad diets, 6 weeks to six-pack abs. People see through that BS. And so I wanted to come from a place where, hey, man, like, we can help you get healthy. We can help you become a better man, a better leader, a better father. And now that's coming out in a lot of more of our messaging now. Is like we're transitioning to away from just health to helping these guys become better men. And that's really what it's all about. And so we're seeing some awesome stories. We've got a guy right now who's down 200 pounds in under 11 months. Which is insanity. But all of our guys are crushing it, man. And we've built an awesome community, an awesome brotherhood. And it's just fun. I'm living out my purpose. And that's why I'm here today talking to you, man. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And like I had
yeah.
said in the intro, I think I've been working with you for 2.5 years now, and I've seen like the transition and the growth and everything. Um, but for people like, because this is about, people breaking the six-figure barrier and all, and one of the
Sure.
things that I think people miss, especially in the grind culture, is taking care of their health.
No doubt.
So what would be some steps for, and it could be for guys or girls, because both listen to this podcast, and I know you focus on men, but what would be some key steps that you would just say, hey, starting out for entrepreneurs, salespeople, they're just always grinding, going to start, addressing their health.
Well, let me just take it a step back and just tell you, when I started my journey, I wasn't taking care of myself in terms of stress management, dude. I let it get a hold of me. I was doing the grind, and I beat myself down for a while. My wife even started making comments because I got too thin, and like I was too lean. I got down to like 168. My normal weight is about 176.
Mhm.
That's where I'm normally healthiest, 176, 178. Dude, I got down to 168, and I mean, yeah, my the six pack was raging, but dude, she was like, you look too skinny. And I'm like, oh
Mhm.
God, when the wife's telling you that, it's
Yep.
like, shit, I need to
I need
make
to
some
do
changes.
something. Yep.
Yeah. And so I get it. I totally understand the grind your life away lifestyle. I do. And it pains me to think that there are people in the entrepreneurial space that are very, very big names that preach the you can sleep when you die mentality. And it pisses me off
Mhm.
because you're literally taking years off your life when you don't make your health a priority. And nobody wants to build an empire only to give it all back to doctors and hospitals. That's the
Right.
thing, is like, you've got to realize that on a grander scale, like, yeah, you're getting a few extra hours a day in, but at the end of the day, man, like, it's not worth, it's not worth the risk that comes along with that, to live that lifestyle very long. And so that I wanted to preface what I'm about to say with that, because it's important to realize that this is not you can get away with it short term, right? Like, you can do it for a few months, maybe you can do it for a few years, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. And so for somebody that went from, I came from a dark place. I took on a lot of debt to start business, and I was on a, really, really mission to get myself to a place where I'm comfortable and doing well. And it's not easy. So I totally get it from that side. But, some tips and really just a place to start is, you have to realize most people are very good at making excuses. We've got a culture right now that is filled with obesity, it's filled with negativity, and it's filled with screen time, and it's filled with media driven nonsense, and people are in a dark place, man. We've been in a lonely place. So it's not just the grind lifestyle, but it's also the environment that's leading to a lot of health issues, and a lot of people just ignoring their health. Hopefully with this virus and seeing that COVID and obesity don't mix, people have started to take it more seriously. But the reality is, man, is number one is prioritize sleep. Like, most people are looking for sexy. Here's the thing, is like, sleep and stress management are at least as important, if not more important, than fitness and nutrition. Like, we are what we eat. No one can argue that. But I'm saying on a day-to-day basis, like, if you don't get good quality sleep and you don't manage your stress, you're headed nowhere. Like, it is going to be a long road ahead. I don't care if you eat healthy and work out all the time. If your sleep is shit and your stress management is terrible, you're not going to get anywhere. And so most men especially don't prioritize these things. And most people want to look past that. They're looking for the fad diet. They're looking for the sexy. They want the 6 weeks to 6-pack abs. And that's why people, throw in the towel. To just take it simple at a time, man. Prioritize sleep, number one. You start getting better sleep and making sleep a consistent pattern in your life, it will have a trickle down effect with all the rest of your health habits, right? Make that priority number one, and then start to build from there. You can't build the house without building the foundation first. Right. And most people are looking past that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because like, I know I used to be, I've been in sales for years and used to be in that grind, do it, all this. And then when I met with you guys and I found out, sleeping 6 to 8 hours a night works for me. So like, my average is 7 to 8 hours minimum. And before I was doing like 3, 5, 1, well, not 1, but like 3 to 5. And that's just not good. And you're like, oh, if I just do a little bit more work. But in reality, if you get your sleep right and then you get your focus right, you're able to get a lot more done because you're not tired or pounding energy drinks or all the other crap with that.
Well, and let me tell you this too, and here's something especially for the entrepreneurs out there, not necessarily the employed people, but there's this myth that it all has to be done like that. If you're not waking up at 4 a.m., like, you're somehow doing life wrong. Like, you see all these people like 5 a.m. club, where are you at? Right. If you
I'm sleeping.
don't get sucked into this mentality, man. Like, I'm not the 5 a.m. club. I'm the 7 a.m. club because I got to get up and take my son to school. Like, I'm prioritizing sleep. And if you're in control of your own schedule, like, don't listen to somebody else tell you how life is supposed to be lived. So many people get carried away with this. Like, most people will agree, like, especially business owners out there. Most business owners will agree that you've probably got at most 4 hours of like really highly focused work in you a day. Like, most people can't work more than that, right? And it's got to be spaced out a little bit. Like, if you do 4 straight hours, you're going to get up and that's probably the end of your day most days. Some days you can get that momentum going and go a little bit harder than that, but that's the reality. And so people make excuses. They want to watch Netflix. They want to scroll their phone. They don't want to go to bed on time, man. It's literally pick a bedtime that's going to give you enough time to sleep, when you're normally going to wake up. If you don't want to be in the 5 a.m. club and you can be in the 6 a.m. club, well, go to bed at 10. Like, make the goal to be in bed by 10 so that you can at least come close to sleeping 8 hours. If you don't sleep 8 hours and you start waking up at 7, well, maybe that's your sweet spot, but at least give your body a chance to get the amount of sleep that it needs. Most people won't do it. They won't commit to it. They think, again, it's the sexy stuff.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think it's finding the balance of what works for you. Cause like I do all my workouts in the afternoon. I've tried to get up in the morning and do the morning routine. And for me, it doesn't work, but I have found I can be consistent doing it. I get off work at 4, 5 to 6. My wife knows I do my one workout and then I might do a walk later on in the evening or something like that. But just finding that balance for you is key.
I'm not a morning workout guy. I've tried to force it before. And could I become a morning workout guy? Maybe if I changed that mentality and said, you know what, I'm going to become a morning workout guy. And I started pounding that into my head. Could I then become a morning guy? Sure. But I like how I have it set up. It works for my life. I like to split my day up with my workout. I work out somewhere around 11:30 to 12:30, somewhere in there, and then for about an hour, and that's usually what my goal for the day is, to get all my work done before I go to the gym. And then after the gym, like if I have a little bit more work, because I got to pick up my son now, like my son goes to school right up the street. So I walk down there, get him, and we're home by 3:15 or 3:10. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what do we do now? Now talking to me, it's very hard for me to get focused on work again. If I got to get this guy snacks, if I got to do that kind of stuff. And so my goal is to get my day done before I go to the gym. And I love to split my day up. So it just works for me. And I agree. You've got to find what works best for you. Most people are trying to follow somebody else's schedule, somebody else's morning routine. Create your own life so that you can live your best life, right? Like, yes, it's about discipline and accountability, but if it works for you, that's not an excuse. You're not making excuses because you're not going to get up at 5 a.m. every day. You found something that works good. You're getting your shit done and you move on, right? Live your best life. And that's really something that I've had to learn over the years, man, because I used to try to force it. I was the man. Why can't I get up at 5 a.m. and like get all this done? It's nonsense, man. Figure out what works best for you.
Yeah. And you said a few key points there that I think a lot of people miss. You really are productive for 4 hours a day. I found in my sales job, I work less hours now and I make more. When I do my side business, I have a set time and I'm focused 100%, but in that time and in that moment, and then like you said, with prioritizing sleep and making it your day, everyone's different. It's not going to be perfect for anyone one way or the other.
No, and that's the thing is you here, we have practice over the years of finding what works best for us. Those people who are in growth mode and not in a fixed mindset and are actually trying to figure out, hey, like doing some self-assessments, right? Some self-evaluations to realize, all right, well, I'm more productive during this time, or I'm more productive during this time. Most people just coast through life. But if you're going to really optimize your health and optimize your life, you got to figure out what's going to be optimal for each category, right? For me, I do best if I try to, if I get some kind of meditation in daily. If I miss that, I feel something missing in my brain, right? And you got to figure out. Some people don't like to force meditation, and I get it. It's not for everybody. Some people do fine without it, but for me, it helps me tremendously, and I think everyone could benefit from it. But I'm not preaching that. I'm just saying, like, that we do teach that inside of our private programs because of the power that it has on the mind, man. Like, it's a great practice for anybody that needs stress management in their life. However, it's one of those things that you have to not force things, but be diligent about things to figure out, all right, where am I best going to fit this into my day? For me, that little morning routine, it's about a 15-minute-ish routine. That is perfect for me. And when I miss it, like I said, I feel empty, right? And so there's that. It's kind of like exercise. When I miss exercise, If I skip a week of workouts, I'm not going to feel my best. I'm going to feel run down. I'm going to feel lagged down. I don't understand how people aren't inspired or motivated by those types of feelings, right? When you eat healthy food, you feel good. When you eat healthy food, your gut works. You feel good. When you eat healthy food, you have better focus. You have more fuel and energy throughout the day. Why is that feeling not addictive for, an addictive feeling for more people? That's what I can't understand. Is like most people don't realize how well the body is designed to feel. And when you start to feel those things, that should be enough to keep repeating those things. Unfortunately, that's psychology that I don't know the answer to. So.
Well, and I think a lot of it comes down to people are so used to their norm. So they'll say they want to get in shape, but they haven't hit the wall to really where they want to get in shape. Because you know my story a little bit. When I went to Disney and saw the pictures, I'm like, crap, I need to fix this.
Yeah.
But up until then, dude, I was drinking Mountain Dew. I was pounding Monsters. I was eating crap. And I wasn't like, I'm a small frame guy. So, I mean, I was big for me. But if someone looked at me like, oh, no, he's in decent shape. I wasn't in good shape. But, we make excuses for ourselves, or we'll get and look online. Oh, I can just go get something like a shot and Krispy Kreme will give me 2 donuts. And then I'm good. And in reality, like I mentioned this tons of times, success is boring. It's doing the right things over and over again to get the right results. It's the same thing with working out and eating right. If you, like you preach, if you eat right for 80 to 90% of the week, and then you do your workouts, you're going to see a change. And then if you have like a cheat meal, whatever you call it on the weekend, it's not as big of a deal. The problem, it seems like, if someone wants to eat like crap for 90% of the time, do 10% work and want results that they're never going to get.
People want easy, and you said the thing about the shot and the Krispy Kreme. Here's the thing, man. Like that's what we're calling health. Like that's, the vaccine is supposed to make you healthy. That people want the easy way out. You got again, COVID and obesity don't mix, right? But we've got these influencer campaigns pushing this vaccine on everybody, but we're not talking about the core problem here. We're not talking. Everybody blasted Michelle Obama's like change the lunch. Do you remember that? They
remember.
Changed the lunch campaign. They're like, oh no, like what are you, some kind of Nazi? And now look where we're at. Like we have a 42% obesity rate or something nuts like that.
Crazy.
This is a epidemic that's going to destroy our country long term. It's already killing millions of people. Like this is not going away. It's an eyesore on our country. We're the fattest nation, dude. Like that's embarrassing, And now we've got all this other stuff happening. And I won't go too political, but the reality is, dude, this stuff needs to be talked about. Like, why are we talking about the vaccine, the health push here? Why aren't we telling more people to lose weight? Why aren't we telling more people to eat healthy, to sleep more, to get out and do some exercise, to help, to go out and get some sunlight and get some natural, some vitamin D in your life? Make your health a priority so that you can fight this off, because eventually everyone's going to get the virus anyway. Surprise, that's how viruses work. Eventually everyone will get it. So if you've been preaching health for the last 18 months, wearing your mask and pushing the vaccine, but you haven't been making your health a priority, and you're 50 pounds overweight, you are the last person to be talking about health, because you could have fixed it by now. If you were that scared, you should have been working on you, because you could have fixed that problem by now. We've got guys, like I said, it's a rarity that somebody loses 200 pounds in 11 months. I get it, but you can lose 100 pounds in a year. That's been done quite a few times, over and over and over again. So it's no excuse. And if you're not working on your health and making yourself a priority, you can't tell me that you're scared of this thing. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. The focus needs to be on health, nutrition, doing the right things, pushing that type of stuff. If someone wants to get a vaccine, great. If they don't, great.
Yeah, you do you.
But
100%.
But don't be like, oh, you're horrible while you're eating McDonald's because you got a free burger, because you did something.
You got the jab, so you got a free burger. They were well, there's all kinds of. I've seen donuts, I've seen burgers, I've seen a big sugar-filled Slurpee drink.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. And like, that's where we're at as a country. We're rewarding people with high sugar, high carb, fat loaded foods to take a vaccine. And that's it's bribery at the sickest level. Like, what is this? So
I just think it, honestly, and not to heart, but I almost think it's wrong, because you're giving them a false sense of hope. And in reality, if you said, hey, cool, yes, this will help, but you need to exercise, you need to eat right, you need to take care of your
None
health
of that.
because,
No disclosure
and they
was
don't
ever
talk
made.
about it at all. Yeah.
Because it's about money, dude, and big
Yep.
pharma is going to lose money. It doesn't pay to have a healthy nation, and that's what people, that's where we're at right now, and it's sad because it's all about the bottom line, and big pharma loses, all these elites lose, right? Like that's how it works. And the reality is it doesn't pay to have a healthy nation. If we had a healthy nation, that industry is in the dumps, and that's a big money making industry. And so I saw this story, and I think I put it on one of my, I can't remember if I put it in an Instagram story, Facebook story, but I saw this thing that I think it was from, I don't know if it's from France or the UK or something. It was this banker guy that said that was talking about how cyclists, because like over there, everything is close together, right? Yep. So you can ride your bike. Like if you live in a town and you work close to home, you can technically ride your bike all the time and never need a car, right? And so it's different than here. And so he was talking about how a cyclist doesn't add anything to the GDP, the gross domestic product. Right. When you have a cyclist who doesn't use any gas, doesn't have a car that needs service, he's healthy, he doesn't need medical help, he literally doesn't contribute at all to their financial bottom line, right? And so that person essentially is a worthless person to the GDP of the country. And that is a sick way to look at things. Yeah. But that's what we're doing right now. Like it doesn't reward us to have good health because of that. It's a sad thing, man. I don't know. It's sick to me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And it's crazy because I think you almost have to have that epiphany moment. Like I said, I did at Disney. I finally realized, because I was always smaller. I was smaller than anyone else in my family. God bless them. But it's still, you have to take your health seriously.
No one's coming to save you, dude. Like if you're, and here's the thing, and this sounds harsh, but I say this from a place of love, man, like, cause I needed to hear this, and some people need to hear tough love. So like for the guys out there listening, like if you're 50 pounds overweight, it's your fault. Like just accept that. Nobody else puts you in that position, right? Like just, you need to know from someone who has been there and done that, like just accept the blame. Like that's step number one. It's your fault. You're fat because it's your fault. And when you listen to that and you hear that, it hurts a little bit. It'll sting, but dude, you gotta change, man. Like that, nobody's gonna do it for you. No one's coming to save you. The perfect plan, the perfect diet, the perfect workout's not gonna be landing in your inbox from any company anytime soon. That's never gonna happen. Just get out there and take massive imperfect action, and most people aren't willing to do it. It's that everybody wants the perfect setup, all the stars to align. Never happens, man. You either get results or you make excuses. There's no gray area here. And when you have that mentality and you wake up every day that you want to get a little bit better that day, and I'm not telling you got to work out every day. I work out 4 times a week. I'm a very moderate load workout guy these days. I have some injuries. I'm in maintenance mode. I don't go into the gym every day trying to crush my workout. I go in there to lift heavy, get my thing done and get out of there. Like I'm not saying that I go in and do, a sissy workout by any means, but I'm not in there throwing the kind of weight I used to around, and that's okay. But I'm in maintenance mode. I know what I need to maintain my health at a good level. And that's what I do because it's a requirement. It's a non-negotiable priority in my life. And most people, especially guys, when you're on the grind, when it's all about the hustle, and for your listeners out there, the trying to crack that 6 figures and beyond, that's great, right? But you are going to perform. It's no secret that your performance will be significantly higher, significantly better if your health is number one priority. You lay that as the foundation. You can't place your priorities on finances without placing your priorities on health and expect that to be a sustainable solution. Like if you want to live your best life, health is number one. You make that your biggest priority, because if you can't be disciplined with that, you're not going to be disciplined with the money either. Right. Yep. And that's the thing, is like, you can't, if you can't be disciplined enough to keep yourself in good shape, there's no other priority that is bigger than that. And that's where people's mind is just amazing to me, because how do you place anything as a bigger priority than feeling good about yourself every day from a health standpoint and from a confidence standpoint? Like, how are you not at your peak shape all the time and don't want those feelings all the time? How do we slip as humans? How do our standards drop? Yep. Right? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No. Well, and you know what's funny? Because I just thought about this. I started my fitness journey about 3 years ago. I've seen a significant increase of breaking that 6-figure mark once I got my health in place.
I can't imagine.
Like 100%. I mean, yeah, like you said that, and it clicked in my head. I'm like, holy crap! I worked out. I got focused. I lost 30 pounds, but because I could discipline that way, that discipline flew over into everything else. So that's the key. I wanted to make sure,
dude.
Yeah.
You feel your best. You look your best. You're going to be mentally strong, physically strong, spiritually strong. Everything comes together when you feel your best. And the only way to do that is to make your health a priority and do it on a daily basis, man. And again, I'm not, look at my freaking logo. It's no secret that we preach the burger and beer thing, because the reality is you got to live life and you got to enjoy life too, right? And that, I'm not telling you that you can drink a beer and eat a burger every day, and everyone knows that. Like our system is, you live your life to the best, to the fullest. You work hard and you play hard, and that's you do that, and you have that mentality. This is reality for you, and that's why our guys do so well. It's like, don't put so much pressure on yourself that you got to eat perfect every time. It's not about perfection. That's where so many people get wrong. They feel if I'm not perfect with my diet for the next 2 months, then I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm going to self-sabotage myself. So many guys out there listening right now, if you're overweight, and you've done this before, because I did this, and I speak from experience on this. You go in the gym, you haven't been in the gym for a while, you go in the gym and you go hard as hell for 2 full weeks, and then you quit because you went too hard, because you think you got to fix it overnight. Fitness is not about a torture session. It's not about torturing yourself. It's about little small doses, taking those little small things that make a difference all in your entire life, doing those on a daily basis, right? Making your health a priority. Drink your water, sleep, get 7+ hours of sleep most nights, manage your stress most days. These are not hard concepts to grasp. And so, but it's literally the micro commitment, following through with the micro commitments on a day-to-day basis, really, and letting those compound. And that reminds me, I had a conversation with one of our clients the other day. Check this out. So he's in a panic, right? He's like, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. So he gives me like 3 or 4 minutes of messages inside a Messenger. So I'm listening to these, letting it soak in. And this guy is so focused on the end result, right? Like, we all want the 50 pounds gone. We all want to feel great immediately. We all want the immediate gratification. And he can't understand why he can't talk himself out of a soda on a Tuesday morning before he goes to work. And I'm like, dude, you're so focused and overwhelmed by this long-term goal, right? It's not about the long-term goal. If you want to become the man, the most optimal health, you want your best life, you want to be in the healthiest, best shape of your life, you've got to start putting that work in today to equal that guy. So many guys get focused on the macro, right? It's the immediate gratification for the macro. Nobody focuses on the micro, man. If you just focus on what you have to do today to become that guy eventually, not in 6 weeks, right? It's cool to set a goal. Like, I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks, right? Whatever. Sure. It's cool to set those goals, but you just live your best life every day and start making your health a priority on a day-to-day basis. And don't worry about that shit, right? Like, that's going to happen for you as long as you live in the moment. And so that concept, once grasped, makes your life a lot easier. That thing right there immediately will eliminate stress from your life, because now you don't have this pressure of this timeline. We feel this weight being, pushed down on our shoulders from this imaginary timeline, this arbitrary number that we've set in our mind, which is just adding stress to your life. I'm not saying to not set goals, but dude, just take it one day at a time. If more people would focus on the micro, because those following through those micro commitments is what gets you to the macro, right? Yep, you're looking 100%. At the macro, the end result. I didn't get to where I am today, whether it's in business, whether it's in health, none of this by all in 1 week. I didn't
No.
gain 60 pounds overnight. I'm not going to lose 60 pounds overnight.
Right.
Just know that it's a day by day thing. You put in the work, you show up every day with your health, with your business. All of these things have a compounding effect. And that's it, man.
Yeah. And you just gave the secret away for sales and business and everything. It's always the micro. It's always doing the things you need to do with your health, with your business, with your relationships, all of that.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, I know we talked about this before, your wife's a lot happier when you're in shape because first, you're not a grumpy ass. Second, you're more confident, and women like it to be confident. Women, if you're listening,
sex life through the roof, dude.
Sex life is through the roof when
secret.
you feel that way because it just changes your whole being, like 100%.
Yeah. And the thing is, man, is like it's not taboo to talk about these things as men, dude. Like sex is important. Yep. Right. This is not a secret for men, like, and for anybody out there, even women, like this is an important part of life. And so many people, so many people let themselves go and don't realize like, hey, this could be a hell of a lot better. And because it slowly got shitty over 5 years or however long it took you to get 80 pounds overweight or whatever, right? Like at one point in your life, your marriage was spicy. You were having sex all the time in the beginning, like, that feeling that you had then can come back to you, but because it took 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 years to get where it's at now, like we lose focus on this priority. Like, dude, having a great sex life is a pretty important part of my life. If I did not have that, I would be a grumpier person, dude. Like talk about stress management. And so being not only being able to perform, because look, when you're not in shape, that ain't happening for very long, right? Like you ain't got much in the tank. And so not just the performance, but also, like you said, the confidence, dude. When I look in the mirror, I'm a confident man. When I go out in public, I'm confident that I can protect my family. I feel like a powerful father. That is what we are trying to teach our men now, is about becoming powerful father figures. I am representing that in every way in my life. And it would be dumb for me not to help other men have the feeling that I have when I'm around my family. Most men will say they feel like they can protect their family. But what if a guy came up and threatened your family and you're not in your best shape? You haven't fought since high school. And I'm not condoning fighting, but like, what if something happened? Would you be able to protect your family? I'm not talking about a gun or a weapon. Like if somebody came up and threatened your family physically, would you feel comfortable stepping up and putting your best bet to take down this predator, right? I don't mean to sound like, worst case scenario, but these are life situations, dude, that are reality. And I want to be able to step up and be the guy that like can feel strong in those moments. If I don't feel strong and confident on a daily basis, I'm not living my best life. In order to live my best life, I have to feel my best, look my best, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of it, right? When it's all in a great place, I'm in a great place. And that's just it, dude. And like, that's why I love life so much. And that's where people don't, when you run into grumpy people, they're, man, like, what are you high on life? And I'm like, dude, yeah, I actually am, because I love life, right? Like life is great for me. And a big part of that is because of my health, right? Like that's feeling good every day never sucks. And I think you can agree with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it just changes the whole dynamic. Like even thinking about what you just said there, 3-4 years ago when I was overweight, I probably wouldn't have been able to do as much. Now I have a heavy bag I do stuff with. I went and did, our friend Jonathan, I went and tried jiu-jitsu. I sucked at it. They kicked my butt, but it was fun. But just having the ability to physically be able to even try and do things now.
Yeah.
Which I think
here's the thing. And here's the thing. It's like going back to figuring out what works best for you. Let's go there for a minute with the workout piece, because you talk about jiu-jitsu, you talk about some of this. You got to find what works best for you. Like Jonathan loves that, right? Like that's his thing. He leverages that for his fitness, part of his fitness. You got to find what works best for you. For me, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that, number one, I don't have some injuries. Like I do have some places on my body that hurt quite regularly. I got a little back that's flaring up right now. I go and get massages every 2 weeks to help this situation. I've got a forearm that I've been nursing for over a year now. And so I'm not saying I'm without injuries. This is the weightlifting lifestyle that I live, but it's not worth the risk of not doing this. So injury comes along with this. I cannot tell you that I could go out and run 5 miles right now nonstop. Like, I would not lie to you and say that I could do that. I am not in that kind of cardio shape. Could I get on a bike in the gym right now and crush a 20-minute HIIT session? Absolutely. That's what works for me. That's what maintains my body. That's what maintains my six pack and my physique. That is not why I do that. However, the fact that I do that and it looks like that is an inspiration to keep doing that, right? I do that because I want to feel my best. So my workout combination is what makes me feel my best. Will I go out and do some sprints? Sure. Could I go out and run probably 3 miles nonstop? Probably not, dude. I'm not an endurance runner. And so I could not go out and compete in CrossFit. I don't know the moves. It would mess me up something good. And I hurt my back even more. I know my limitations and I stay physically fit within those limitations, if that makes sense. It's about self-awareness and it's about situational awareness. I would not go into a CrossFit box and sign up for one of those and go try to do a CrossFit session. That's not who I am. That's not in my interest. I don't want to go hurt myself. I would not go, do certain things because they're not in my limitations. Like I stay fit for me because I love life. Right. And so I'm not saying to not challenge yourself. Like my son's been talking about rock climbing. Like I would love to go. I've been looking up rock climbing places so we can go and do some rock climbing. I love to do that with them. But like trying stuff like that's one thing, but like, don't go out and don't be the guy that's 80 pounds overweight and go into the gym week 1 and try to crush, 15 exercises and then go spend an hour doing cardio and, waste your time doing that because all you're going to do is throw in the towel. And that's where so many people go wrong. Like you try to go at it so hard in the beginning, man. Fitness is one piece of the puzzle. That's what we tell all of our guys. Like, we have this mentality. We want to work, make up for lost time, right? Like you get in there and you're like, man, like I feel shitty. I'm 30 pounds overweight. I got to lose it this workout. I got to get it going this workout. Like, I'm not saying not to work out hard, but don't go in there and kill yourself because you're not going to sustain that, right? Just realize fitness is just one piece of the puzzle. You just got to put your reps in for that day, right? Nutrition, sleep, stress management. That's it, man. Like if more guys would just focus on those 4 pillars, life would change. But we want the sexy. Yeah, everybody wants the flashy 6 weeks to 6-pack abs, keto this, whole 30 that. Not saying to not try those things. Like I've tried some keto meals and I did keto for a little while, or a version of keto, and it'll work. But dude, can you live like that? Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm never going to eat carbs again? Like, come on.
No, I'm eating carbs today.
Let's just take last night, for example. So I took my son, we did a little patio time before I went and picked up my 1-year-old yesterday. So I went and had a beer and we ordered a couple appetizers. So the appetizers were, one of them was bread and then one of them was meatballs with bread. Okay. A bunch of carbs, and then had the beer. And then we didn't eat all of that. I took some home to the wife. And then after that, dude, I went and got like 10 tacos for me and my wife. I ended up, she told me this morning that she only ate 2 of the tacos. The tacos were gone. I ate 8 tacos last night. So this is like, you have to live life, right? Like it's this mentality that it's got to be fixed though. Like it's not all perfect. I got to throw in the towel. It's just not it, man. Life is too fun to have this overwhelming and frustrating view on health. Health maintenance can be made fun. You can make fitness fun. And that's what people, if more people realize that and looked at it like that and embraced it, but that's a growth mindset. So many people have the fixed mindset. Like, I'm just meant to be overweight. I've been fat my whole life. So this is how I'm supposed to be. This is one that really pisses me off, dude. I'll tell you, I talk to a lot of men, right? If I have a prospect on the phone, I'm like, how much do you want to weigh? Or what's your goal weight? My goal weight is 200. All right. Well, how much are you now? Well, I'm 280. I'm like, all right, well, how tall are you? Well, I'm 5'6". I'm like, dude, at 5'6", you would still be morbidly obese at 200 pounds. Like, why do you only want to weigh 200? Like, why are you lying to yourself, telling yourself that you don't need to go below that? Why is average good enough for you? Because if you set the bar high in the beginning, you're like, you know what? I know where I need to be. Why would I give myself a comfort zone? Why wouldn't I just not come in, with flames throwing, dude, and say, I'm going to 160, right? Or,
Mhm.
or 165 or wherever
Whatever
a
that,
healthy
yeah, yeah.
weight would
Mhm.
be, right? Wherever that number lands. Why am I only aiming for 200? That's going to still keep me morbidly obese. And I think we've just lost standards as a society, man. And I think there's a lot of reasons for this. But dude, we're not, this is not getting better anytime soon, because big pharma is going to continue to push the meds. People think that taking medications, I've heard guys tell me that, well, do you have high blood pressure? They'll say no. I'm like, okay, well, are you on high blood pressure medication? Well, yeah. Well, then you have high blood pressure. No, I'm on medication. Do you have high cholesterol? No. Are you on cholesterol medication? Yeah. Well, then sounds like you have high cholesterol, right? And so it's this mentality that medications just fix it, right? Medications are a freaking Band-Aid, dude. Like that's it. You're not addressing the root cause. More people need to look at that, man. And it's just, it's so sad that we have this Band-Aid medication mentality, right? It's like, I'm just going to throw a little quick fix at it. You address the root cause, your life changes. You don't, nothing changes, and you're going to continue to get sicker and sicker and sicker.
Yeah, and all the Band-Aid does is cover the wound. It doesn't heal it. It doesn't fix it at all.
No,
yeah, you brought up a lot of really good points. I'm gonna make sure people caught it. So fitness is a lifestyle choice that you make small movements each day to get better, but you still enjoy life. Medication is a Band-Aid. If you don't hit the root of it, you're just gonna be just having a Band-Aid, and it's gonna fester and get worse. And you want to live your best life. You mentioned something else. You went and hung out with your son and all. And a lot of guys are too tired to go do that. Like, too tired to go, maybe go play catch or do stuff with it. Man, I would hate that. I would hate myself if I couldn't do that with my kids.
Imagine going to work all day, coming home, and being zonked out on the couch, and your wife calls you for dinner. You go to dinner, and then you come back to the couch. You're zonked out on the couch again after dinner, and your family's in there. Maybe they're watching a little TV, or maybe they're talking or whatever. And that's what you call family time. That's how you're spending family time. Imagine living like that. Or you come home and you're zonked out, and your kid wants to go around and go out and throw the baseball or the football, like you said, throw the ball around, and you literally have to say no because you're too fat and out of shape to go. You have no energy because the day your 8-hour workday, really, you got 4 hours of production in that 8-hour workday, it zapped you. Like, what a piss poor excuse of a life that is. You're not raising your kids. You're coasting through life with your kids. Like, how are you able to become, how are you able to be the father figure, the leader of your family, if you're not able to be disciplined enough to take care of your health? It's not an excusable lifestyle, man. And it pains me that guys get trapped in this, like, this search for, like, how did you lose the weight? I see it over in the free group all the time. How did you lose the weight? Well, how did you lose the weight? Dude, the information is there. We don't lack for information. We lack for application. There's no secret on how to lose weight, dude. It's calories in and calories out. Are there strategies that work really, really good? Do I feel like our strategy works really, really good? Absolutely. It allows you to eat burgers and drink beer and still have a very fit physique. It allows you to have high energy throughout the day. It's about prioritizing the proper nutrients. This is not a secret. We try to reinvent the wheel. Like, why are we trying to fix something that isn't broken, dude? There's no secret on how to lose weight. People are just lazy. They want the quick fix. The quick fix is not there. And until you realize that, you're going to continue to spin your wheels. Once you accept that, once you truly realize at the end of the day that it is about hard work, it is not about a cleanse, it is not about a body wrap, it is not about a detox, it is not about a fad diet. It is about you focusing on proper nutrients, eating less than you need each day. It's not hard, man. Like, it's one of those most baffling things. And until you realize it as an individual that wants to get better, like, once you accept that, right, I want to get better and I don't want to make excuses anymore, and you truly realize that, it just comes down to hard work. I've got to get up every day, and I've got to do something active. I've got to get up every day. I've got to drink a gallon of water. My piss needs to be clear all day long.
Yep.
I got to get up every day. I got to focus on eating the right foods, making sure that I'm getting lean proteins, making sure that I'm getting some good healthy fats in, making sure that I'm eating the right types of carbs and not loading up on a bunch of crap and sugar in the morning. It's not rocket science, man. We don't lack for information, dude. We lack for application. So many people want the quick fix. We live in an immediate gratification society, bro. Like, look at every single corner. There's a fast food restaurant. I can order groceries on Amazon right now. I can go down and pick a movie on Netflix and go watch it right now. Whatever I want right there on my phone. Boom, boom, boom. Doesn't work like that with health. And once you realize that and you embrace it, you embrace health and fitness as a journey and not a short-term fix. We all get fixated on that goal. I want to lose 50 pounds. When you stop thinking about that, and again, start thinking about the long-term journey, dude, life just gets so much easier. Not easier, so much simpler, right? It's never easy. Life is never easy. That's what people realize. The fit life is hard and the fat life is hard. I've lived both, right? Life is hard no matter what. You've lived both. If you're fat, life is hard. And there's some shitty things that come along with being fat. If you're fit, life is hard. You're still going to have some shitty things happen, but at least it's not because you're fat, out of shape, no energy, low libido, no confidence, all the stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah. And because you get to do so much more and experience so much more, even when you go places. Because, like, just thinking about this, when we went to Disney, you've heard that story. I was miserable, hating it. Wasn't great. We went to Hawaii twice since it. And dude, I was in the water body surfing. We went
you know how much better of a time you had? I mean,
oh my gosh, night and day. I went on a 2-mile hike, which I would not have been able to do before, carrying a backpack, jumped in a waterfall with my wife. She was having a great time. My 6-year-old went with us. She did the hike. And that experience would have been miserable for me if I hadn't been doing most of the time consistently having, my food and all that in place. When I was in Hawaii, I drank, I ate crazy food, I did all that stuff, but I had put the work in.
You deserve to, man. That's why
fun.
You're there. That's why you're there, but you don't do that all the time. You put the work in between so that you can do that. And that's the mentality. And again, here's the thing. Let's not kid ourselves. At the end of the day, it is people that lie to themselves and don't accept the fact that life is hard. Because once you realize that, right, like no matter what area of life we're talking about, health, business, relationships, spiritual health, it does not matter what side of life we're talking about. It is hard to always be continuing to grow and get better in that area. If you want stagnant, shitty relationships, have a fixed mindset when it comes to your relationship. Don't look for new things to cause sparks in the bedroom. Don't look for ways to continue to grow your bond and your friendship with your wife. Don't look for ways to do things for her to make her happy to be married to you. If that's you, I got nothing for you, right? Like that's not the way that you would do your relationship. Same thing goes with business, dude. If you want to grow in business and you want to get good in business, I'm still learning a shit ton about business, dude. Like I went from flat ass broke. I remember my very first sale for $1,500. I closed this guy for 3 months for $1,500, dude. And I jumped out of my desk, out of my office, and I went and I did a somersault into our game room with my wife was sitting out there. It was the happiest day in business, dude, because it was my very first sale. And now looking where we're at as a company, what's coming up next for us. Our first retreat is in October. Like I was telling you, dude, like shit is popping for us, man. It's fun. It's good times and happy times. I get to make an impact on somebody else's family or other people's families with my business partner, our employees. Like shit's cool. Right. And so it's me working on that every single day. Same holds true with health, right? And so if you're successful in your career, you have great relationships, maybe you have a great spiritual, I didn't talk about that one. If you want a good relationship with your higher power, whether that, whatever God that is for you, like I have a very strong relationship with God. Could it be stronger? Absolutely. Would never tell you that because I'm always looking for areas to grow, or I'm always looking to grow in all areas of life. And you're doing yourself a disservice by not having that type of outlook on life. If you don't have that outlook, dude, you're coasting in life, right? Why not try to get better in all areas, right? And so if you want to get better in your finances, you got to get better with health, right? They all go together. The better you are in each category, the better it's going to be. and you could probably back me on this one as well. You make your health a priority, number one, right? Then you're able to serve your family better. You're able to have more energy for your wife. You're able to have more energy for your career, your work, everything. Health is at your core. Then after health, if you have good relationships, if you have good structure in your family, you have everything, like there's not a whole, arguments are good. I'm not going to deny that. But say most times you and your wife are on the same page, like your family unit is strong, right? Like you're the leader of the family. Your kids look up to you. You guys know you have an active lifestyle. You eat healthy. Everybody feels good because they're on the same page. A good, strong family unit. Then you have those two things in check, dude. Your career, your business, whether it's a sales role, whether it's your business, whether you're a corporate level worker, no matter who you are, will then be able to explode beyond all doubt, man, because you have strong relationships. You can add network and brotherhood into that as well, right? Like if your relationships, your network is good, you say your network is your net worth, right? Your network is good, your family's strong, you have strong friendships, strong relationships, you keep the negative people out of your life. It gives you the ability to then really focus on career, because those core foundational pieces of human nature, health and relationships, are what are going to propel you beyond anything financially. And so if you start with health and have it in that order, dude, the sky's the limit for you. And if more people realize that, more people would become more successful.
Well, and it's totally true in my life. Like literally 3 years ago, when I got my health right, my sales role started to get to be really good, which led me to doing, I do some sales coaching. I started a podcast. I have so much more energy. 3 years ago, I wouldn't be doing any of this.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I would have been coming home, sitting on the couch a little bit. I'd move a little bit. I'd go throw around with the son or something, but it'd be like 15, 20 minutes. Now it's done. Now I could go out there for an hour or two if you wanted and, just engage and do, because I have the energy to do it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I love it, man.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about this retreat you have coming up, because I'm sure there's some people on here. And again, I highly recommend Jason and his team. I've worked with them for 2.5 years. I know their program. Their program is spot on. And like you said, you can have pizza and beer on the weekend. He shows you how to do it. But tell us a little bit about this retreat coming up. And then also, and we're not done yet, but let people know where they can find you as well. I never do that at the end because, sometimes people fall off. So I like to do it a little bit in the middle.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, first of all, if you want more about us, you can get my Instagrams at Dad Bod Health. Go to at Dad Bod Health Instagram. If you look at my profile, you'll see the live streams, our podcast. You'll see a lot of that we do over in our free group. And then if you tap the link in my profile, you can come join our free group and you'll see what we're all about, dude. Like it's a pretty, you're in there, you know what we're all about. Anyway, so that's probably the best place to find what we're doing right now, because we are actually going through a rebrand, and I'm not going to let the full cat out of the bag because nobody knows other than my business partner, but we are going through a rebrand, and not changing Dad Bod Health logo or anything like that. But our program is about to go in a really, a unique direction, and really the teaching points of what we're going to be helping men with. It's gonna help us grow. Myself and my business partner are going to be doing some things that's real life teaching that's going to make us a little bit uncomfortable as well, because this is real life deep shit that men deal with. And so it's more of a men's mentorship, man. Like really having health at the core, and really kind of how I explained it, dude. Having health and strengthening your family, becoming a leader of your family in every aspect. Because the reality is, the healthier you are, the better your performance is going to be in all areas. And so we feel very strongly about the way that we're going. And so retreat number 1 is October 14th through the 17th. And right now we've got about 15 guys that are flying in from around the country. It's going to be at Canyon Lake out near Austin and San Antonio, Texas. And we're going to do some really amazing stuff with these guys. It's going to be more of a transformational experience than anything. We are going to do some fun stuff. Got a little Olympics planned. Going to get a little bit of some adult beverages in the evening. I think we've got some campfire, maybe some boating planned. So it's going to be fun time. But it's really goal number 1 is to make it a transformational experience. So we've really already kind of talked about this, so I'll just tell you this is we are going to be doing more retreats moving forward. This is going to be part of our business plan moving forward. And so the goal is to do 3 of them a year. And we've actually got a couple of locations that we might be able to utilize. So we're very excited about the direction that we're going with our company now, man, because dude, you're about to see a whole different kind of look with our messaging, marketing, advertising. It's going to be fun, man. So we're pumped.
No, I'm excited for you guys because, like I said, I've been following you all for a while. I'm super excited, and I love that whole. I went to my first mastermind retreat type of thing in May. It was more of a sales focused one, but especially with guys, I think it's huge to
It's going to be
have
awesome,
that
dude.
bonding.
Guys don't have outlets, dude.
No, we don't.
Like, the alpha male is being phased out of society. It's this toxic masculinity bullshit that, that people talk about. This is not toxic. The only toxic masculinity is if you're an asshole, right? Like you're either that there's masculinity doesn't need to be attached to that word, because a masculine man, an alpha male, leads by example for his family, takes care of his family, is a provider. Like, that's an alpha male. An alpha male is not somebody who's rah in your face and and is a dick. Like, and some people take it to an extreme. Dude, I'm talking about being a man and being and living life, living your best life as the leader of your family, right? It's not about, this toxic masculinity nonsense. It behooves me, man. And so, look, we're all about helping men make a better life for themselves. And so our focus is a lot of mindset stuff. Look, these guys are not, our most of our audience, these guys are not coming in like already fit and really ready to do some Navy SEAL stuff. That's not what we're doing. We're going to be doing some deep mindset stuff. We've got some really cool mindset exercises we're doing with them. And so it's going to be like, they're in for a treat, man. And so this is part of our business model moving forward. We're hoping to do 3 a year, like I said, and, I'm pumped, dude. You're going to love the new messaging, man. I'm so excited about it. So
yeah, no,
we've been working hard behind the scenes on this thing. It's really, Joe, I can't even describe it any other than it's literally building out a brand new business, because it's completely different from what we're doing now. Like the business model, the time frame, pricing, everything has changed. We've moved over platforms. So we're pumped, man.
No, that's good. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it go. I know this first one I won't be able to make it to, but I will probably try and come to one for sure, because I love that type of stuff. I'm definitely all into that. And I agree with you. Alpha male is not a bad thing. And toxic masculinity is a made up word by little betas that don't want.
You got the soy boy culture right now, man. It's the soy boys.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Man. And like, it's so, look, being a man does not mean being a dick. Being a man is being respectful, dude. Like, and we talked about this a lot in our last live stream, and I'll just throw this out there. I think this is valuable for a lot of people, is because, look, when you want to become a better person, when you want to become a better man, making your health a priority is important, right? Like, that's if you can't take care of yourself, you're not disciplined enough to take care of yourself, you're not showing the world a whole lot. That's no secret, right? Like, the person who's morbidly obese is telling you something. They've got some deep rooted issues, and I don't have a problem with it. You need to be working on it. That's what I have a problem with. Like, start working on yourself. Like, there's no excuse to stay like that, right? 100%. You can't change what's happened in the past, but you can do everything possible to start living a better life and a healthier life. All right. So that's no secret. But here's the thing: is like, we live in a society today where people can't even put up their own damn grocery cart, dude. People can't clean their own piss off the toilet seat. People can't pick up stuff after themselves. We've got masks all over the parking lot. Like, this is a disgusting society. And if you can't even do some of the most basic standards as a human being, well, then you're not showing me that you probably do much for your health either. Like, that's just disgusting behavior. And so being a man is not doing that kind of stuff. Being a man is having standards and showing your children to the best way to be a positive contributor to society, right? Like, don't be a waste of space. Don't be that guy. And that's really where we're going with this, man, is like, we want to help these guys really become strong leaders of their family, become powerful father figures, and lead by example for their kids, and make sure that their kids are getting this message at a young age, man. Like, I'm having that with my son right now, talking about the pee on the toilet seat. Yep. This is not a joke, dude. Like, he's 6 years old. Like, dude, you either pick up the toilet seat or you get toilet paper and you wipe the piss off the toilet seat. There is no pissing and leaving the bathroom and not doing something about that. That's not acceptable. That would be like me when I, throwing Q-tips into the trash can, one of them falls on the floor and I just leave it for the housekeeper that's coming in a week and a half. Not acceptable, man. Nope. So that's some of the basic standards of being a man, being a good man, a good person. And some people just don't get it, man. It's about the little things in life.
No, I love that. Like men are supposed to protect, direct, and correct in like in an overall role, not like in a negative way, but that's kind of how we function. We need to train our young men how to become men. I think that's been the biggest issue in society. If you want to go on a little tangent there, that we've had to face is men don't know how to be men because they've grown up with either not having
participation trophies,
or
let's give seventh place a trophy, dude. You're seventh place. You didn't win shit. Like,
no, you didn't
literally
do anything.
I mean, you look, they were doing that stuff at my kid's little soccer thing that he did. And I'm like, no, dude, like, here's the thing. This is not, you can keep this because it's your first little event, but I want you to know, like, this is not something that I'm going to support moving forward. If you play sports, right now he's in karate and we're going to start him in basketball. So we'll see where it goes, but that's not okay. And so you need to know that if you didn't finish first or second or third, if it's the league thing, right? Like those are the trophies. You don't get it beyond that. And so, no, I can't with that crap. And that is it. That's exactly where the trickle down effect has started. It's that mentality. You didn't win anything. If you want to win at life, you need to have a winning mentality. It doesn't mean being a dick. It means being a man and having high expectations of yourself and holding yourself to a high standard. If you have that mentality in life, you will win. As your father, I'm going to instill that mentality in you, or I will pound that into your head until you finally get it so that you can also win. I haven't always gotten that. I am not sitting up here on my pedestal saying that I've always had this understanding of how life works. But when I figured it out, And now I would be doing my family a disservice to not instill those behaviors in my son, or not do everything that I in my power to instill those behaviors in my son. And that's it. I have no other, there's no wiggle room here. This is a non-negotiable priority for me to try to teach him how to win. That's it.
No, I'm with you 100%. I am. Like when my son played baseball, they got second place one time. And then the next time they didn't, I think they got like fifth or sixth in the league. They didn't get anything. He was a little bit bummed, but he understood, hey, this is how real life works. And how do you know what real success is if everyone gets a participation trophy?
You don't. You have no clue. You're not going to win in life in that. That's because those are those people right now that are screaming about minimum wage because they don't want to go do something better with themselves, right? And I'm not talking about the people who are, super uneducated and like that's the best thing they can do. I'm talking about people out there who could do a lot better for themselves that are just accepting a job and coasting in life. That's not the mentality to have. That is not a winning mentality. I'm not telling you that we don't need gas station workers. We do. And some people, that's what they're cut out to do. Some people are just gas station workers. Okay. My son is going to want to aspire to be more than a gas station worker. We need those kind of people. I am not raising a gas station worker. Right. That is not how I'm looking at it. And I have no problem with gas station workers. I'm just using it as an example, right? The reality is we need those people in society. I am doing everything in my power to raise my son way far beyond that because I am a late blooming entrepreneur. I did not figure this journey out until I was 38 years old and quit corporate America. Okay. I am now almost 42 years old. I would love for my son to figure it out in his mid-20s instead of in his late 30s. That will give him a giant step, and I'm not saying he has to start a business. I'm telling him to figure out his purpose, right? I'm living my purpose and my passion. When you figure out your purpose and passion and you accept that life is hard, health is hard, business is hard, your relationships are hard, spiritual health is hard. We went over all this. It's all hard. When you accept that, and you're living your purpose, you can live your best life. That's it.
Yeah, I'm doing that. It's funny again, because you said that, because I'm a little bit older than you and my son is 16 and I've been walking him through those same type of stuff, except for that he is very good with his hands and stuff. And in the summer, he's been working for an electrical company and he's getting set up to become an electrician because he loves that. But
that's cool,
it's
man.
Positioned him
that's
way
good money
earlier.
Too.
Yeah, dude, it's good money. Crazy good money, but it's positioned him way earlier than me. Getting out of high school, getting a job, then maybe going to college, and then falling into sales, and where I am now. He actually is having
he can hit that trade school running, dude. That's great.
Yep. And it's
Oh,
what
I
he would
would,
love to do. I would hate doing it because I'm not a hand, like putting my hands doing type of guy, but he loves that stuff.
I tell you what, man, if that's the direction he takes with his life, that feels pretty good as a dad, man, to know that he has a good chance to win big early in life, dude. Like really, because if he's smart, he can set himself up really good, learn the trade, and then start his own company, dude, and just crush it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, good for you it's not common for somebody his age to already have some kind of direction on where they want to go with that. And so that must feel good for you.
Yeah, it worked out. And you mentioned network and connection. My wife used to work for them before we had our youngest. And so we had the connection there. And she was saying, hey, he wants a summer job. Will you take him on? And then they kind of came out and did stuff with him and showed him stuff. And he was a warehouse boy for 2 years. This is his second year. But now they're having him buy tools and just seeing if he's willing to, do stuff with it. And he's stepping up, which is great.
That's cool.
So yeah, I love it.
Love that, man.
Any parting words for our guests for the podcast listeners? I guess they're our guests.
Your audience. I think I dropped it all out there, man. Like the reality is it's results or excuses. That's it. And when it comes to health, here, if you need help, come find me. That's it. If you need help, come find me. If you don't, take massive action and start working. Like you're not going to live your best life until you make your health a priority. Again, we just covered this, but I can't put it any simpler. Like if you don't know where to start, if you're one of those guys, like, man, I do want to look, I believe this. I believe you, Jason. I realize that, but I don't even know where to start. Well, then come join the free group. Go to @DadBodHealth on Instagram. Go click that link in my bio and come join the free group. If you do that, come soak up some of the knowledge. Go watch some of the videos in the guides section. We cover it all. We lay it all out for you. We make it very, very simple for you. We give value away at a high level every week in that free group. Our clients pay a lot of money to hang out with us and have us help them navigate this process and become better men, become better leaders, become better fathers. So it's not just all about health, but health is at our core, right? If you make health at your core, come join the free group, soak up that knowledge and start taking massive action. That's it. Like it's all, again, the information is out there. We don't lack for information. We lack for application. If you accept that and start taking action today, you can live your best life starting tomorrow because you're already going to start feeling good, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And again, I just want to reiterate, I've worked with Jason for a couple of years now. His stuff works. It's consistent. It's perfect. You should check it out. Thanks again for being on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it.
You got it, man. Anytime. I appreciate you having me on. Hopefully your listeners got some value today, man. I know we went for quite a while, but hopefully we hit on some stuff that'll make them think a little bit, man. That's all I try to do when I come on, dude. Just make you think a little bit. If I could add value to your life for even 1 second today, I'm glad I was able to do so.
Yeah, no, man, I appreciate that. And I know they did. Like, health is so important in anyone's life, especially business and entrepreneurs. So thank you again. And thank you all for listening to 150K podcast. Again, I'm your host, Joe Graham, where we help you take your dreams to 6 figures and beyond. And until next time, application matters.